Hello, you all. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I'm on here to share with you all some projects that I've been creating, some things I've been playing with. Um, I hope that y'all having a great weekend. I was not on last weekend. I don't know why. I just wasn't on last weekend. Of course, I've still been, I craft every weekend. I craft as much as I possibly can when time allows me to craft. So I love crafting as much as a lot of us do. So you already know where I'm coming from with that. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you all first. This video is again inspired by Crafty by Tony here on YouTube, and I will have her channel linked in my description box down below. Um, I don't know if you all are familiar with her or not, but I believe she lives in the UK, and she is amazing. She's an amazing crafter. She does amazing tutorials and very, very inspirational. So I'm just loving how she creates and the things that she comes on and shares with all of us that are subscribed to her channel. So there's a lot of things that I have seen that she has done that I've been wanting to do. And so that gives me a chance to use my stash, and come in here and create things, and see what I can come up with. Of course, I'm never going to be exactly like create something exactly like somebody else creates, because that's just, you just don't do that. You may use the same ephemera, you may use take the base of the project that they're creating, that they're sharing with you, and then you just do your own thing. And so that's what I do. I never want to be like somebody else, but I do get inspired by other people. So I'm like a lot of us do. That's what we're on YouTube for. We get inspired by what others are coming on to share with us. So um, the project I'm gonna share with you all here in just a minute is from like 2 years ago. I don't remember, how far back 2 years ago it was, like what video, but when I come to it, I'll share with you all, and you can kind of go look to see if you can find this item. And I'm pretty sure other people have created this item before. It was just my first time seeing it, so I want to create it myself. So I'm going to go ahead and start off first with sharing some inspiration from Crafty by Tony. I made some marble paper, and so she has a video showing how to make marble paper. And she said it was not her idea, of course. I think she says it's from Japan, if I'm not mistaken. This technique was like something that was created from Japan. So basically, you just take a pan of water, and you pour your water, and then your vinegar. It's distilled vinegar. You don't have to use vinegar, but vinegar does make it, just gives like a little bit of different look. But water will still work just by itself if you don't have vinegar. And then you take your different colors of alcohol inks, whatever colors you want to play with, and make your marble paper. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you all the ones that I created or that I made yesterday. So this page right here is just from the last dip. When I was pretty much done, I just dipped the paper in there. This is Bristol Smooth cardstock that I've been having in my stash from Amazon. But I just dipped this in there just to see what was going to pull out when I was done. And this is what it gave me. So I'll use that as like, a stamp, and then cut out my stamps for ephemera. So yeah, so that's the last page. Okay, and then we have this page. And just like I said, just making marble effects. And you can take a straw and you can blow in it to move the ink and the water and everything around. Or you can take the straw and go inside the pan to move everything around, and then dip your cardstock in there. And it's not that long. You just dip it in there and pull it out, and the ink adheres to it. And some of you guys have already done this technique or have seen it before, but for the ones that have not, very easy to do, you guys. You would love it. And then here's another one. And I did this one right here, which I really love. I love this one too. And then we have this one. And I did two of this one. And this is like with the gray and mustard. Really pretty. And then pink and green. And then this was like my very first attempt before I did this one. And so this is the look I was going for, but I didn't really move the ink around with the straw. So this is what the look I got, but I still will use it. But I love this look. And then we got this one. So I did serve. I was just, like I said, I was just playing. I was just having fun in here in my craft room playing. And I haven't really been in my craft room, you guys. I actually been in my bedroom, um, creating, just sitting on my bed, watching YouTube, and just create, just playing. But, of course, when I have to use something that's liquid, like sprays and water and stuff like that, I will come in here to do that, of course, because I won't do that in my bed. But yeah, and that is the last page. So yeah, so these are my alcohol marble ink pages that I was creating. So like I said, the more you do it, the easier it gets. But it's a lot of fun to do and just see the effect and see what you come up with using these alcohol inks, water, and vinegar. So yeah, so that's what I did. And then using this stamp, I got this stamp not too long ago. This is the Inspector CMS 465. I do have the Professor, if I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called. But I didn't have this one, so now I have this one. So I just use this stamp right here to create my tag. Excuse me. So here's my tag that I created, and I love it. It's just very simple, just playing with the stamp. That's pretty much what I was doing. And so I just used some tea-dyed cardstock. And then once I did, this to say real quick, on the paper, your paper gets all crinkly and stuff like that. So I do take an iron and iron it. And I did get this from Amazon. It's a little iron that I keep on my desk. And so I just iron my paper so they can be flat. So with that being said, that's what I did here. So once I tea-dyed it, I ironed it. When it dried, I ironed the paper. And then I took Vintage Photo Distress ink and I just dipped it on my mat and to get the two-tone look in the background, if you can see. And then I just did my stamping. So I stamped the Professor there, not the full body, just kind of to the side. I did like the little clock or whatever that you see here. And then with my VersaFine Clair Tulip red, I did the stamp that says forfeit move if you do not wish to change, where it says note. So I stamped that in the Tulip red, but the rest is stamped in the VersaFine Clair Nocturne, which I love this ink, you guys. I have more coming. But yeah, so I did that. And then the alphabets, I did stamp that in Distress ink in the Vintage Photo in the background. I put some little ephemera here that I cut out from my stamp. And then there's the last stamp at the bottom here that says, it has like a finger pointing. It says claims for errors. That's actually this long stamp here at the bottom, but I just stamped claims for errors because, of course, I all went on fit. So I just did that, and that is my tag. Now I distressed the edges with the Vintage Photo. And love the way that turned out. Just like I said, just playing. So that's that first project. Okay, the next project is the item where I was inspired by Crafty by Tony. So I did use archival ink and the fire brick. I also used VersaFine Clair in the Nocturne, so I used some of that too. And then the stamps that I use, this is by Sweet Miss Daisy Designs, and I use this like postage with the cancellation mark. I just use a little part of that, like this part back, to stamp. This is a Tim Host Documented CMS 226. So I use this like map right here, and she did the same thing. So with that being said, some things I did that she did as well, but then I did my own as well. So, I would never copy somebody's project or, their creation down to a T. I would not do that. But I did do, the same stamping that she did on the inside. So, yeah, so I used that. And I think that's all I used from this stamp. And then from this one, the Eccentric CMS 448, I used like the star with the tag number, the stars, and I used some other ones from here, I believe. Oh, I remember using this one, guaranteed to be strictly high grade. So I use that as well. And then this is a newer one that I got not too long ago. This is Etc. CMS 302. So I use the numbers here and the 15 cents. I think I used that one, maybe not. And then, let me just move some of this stuff to the side, okay. And then I use by Creative Expressions. This is Signatures from the Past 2. I use the Ella Grayton, if I think that's the name. So I use that stamp right there. And I think I use that 1898, possibly. Okay, this right here was a free gift for purchase. I ordered some Creative Expressions tailored made journal stamps. It's called, the website is Dream, etc. I never had heard of them before, but I was looking for some stamps and they popped up and they took PayPal. So long as they take PayPal, just in case I have any issues, I'm good with that. So this was a free gift, and so I used this stamp as well. Since it was on my bed when I was creating, I'm like, let me go ahead and just use it and stamp with it. And then these stamps right here are from, I think I got these from Temu. So this is like the label stamp, and then this is like another label stamp that has the, you know, the numbers in it. So Temu or Amazon, one of the two. And then from Tim Holtz Ideology, I use the Memoranda, which is the limited release from the vault. So I use that. And then from Amazon, this long stamp right here, I use some of this too. So I use the February 24th for sure, because that's my daughter's birthday. She'll be 27 this Tuesday. So I use that date. And I think I use maybe some other little stamps from here, possibly. I don't remember because I did a lot of stamping, so yeah. So let me just move this to the side and share with you all what I created. So this video, like I said, was from 2 years ago, and it's a mini document wallet. So I wanted to create one I've never had, so here we go. So here's my mini document wallet that I created following Crafty by Tony's video tutorial, like I said, from 2 years ago. So I used file folder from Dollar Tree for the base to make the folder. And so this folder is like, it's 4 inches this high, and it is 6 inches wide. So 4 inches by 6 inches. And so if you want to make this, go over and check out her channel, you know, and she does very good instructions and detailed, you know, tutorial on how to make this. If you have never made one before and you want to make one. And there may be other videos out there that have made this wallet as well, but I just follow her tutorial. So I use file folder for the base, Dollar Tree, and then I use that paper to cover. Once I got the, you know, wallet together, I also did the back as well. And then I did some stamping. So she did the stamping as well. So I did some stamping here with the, like, you know, writing that you can't really read. Here's some more stamping down here. And then some stamping in the back. And then this ephemera is from the Tim Holtz palette collection. And she did also use the palette collection as well. And luckily I had that collection, so I use it as well. And I just, of course, put mine down a lot differently than what she did. But I did do the label stamping like she did, but just a little bit differently. And I used that fire brick red for that. And then I also used some vintage tape on mine, here and here. And so then we have this stamp right. So this is ephemera, and I just stamped the numbers on there. This was ephemera as well that I stamped the 15 cents on. Let's see, when we open it up, this closed with the jute string. Not jute string, but the twine. So here's where I also did the stamping with the map like she did as well. But then I also add the postage and cancellation stamp on the side. And then on the inside, so how you put the string around it, I just took some Tim Holtz tape that kind of went with my paper. And so you just lay the tape down, washi tape down, cut the string long enough, you wrap it around, and then wrap it back around to the front and then tie it. And so that's what holds your flap closed. But you can also use Velcro tape if you choose. So yeah, so that's how that closes. And so now you can really see what I did here on the front. So lots more stamping. So I did some more stamping here. This is some stamps here. The stars with the claim check, some more ephemera. The February 24th, the signature, the name. It's like a little check. And then we got some more ephemera. And then it says paid to the order of. with some more ephemera stamping right there and some more ephemera right here. So yeah, so I did lots of stamping here, and then like also on the back as well. Here's that guarantee strictly high grade number, the star with the tag number, some more stamping right here. I did stamping on top of the ephemera right there and also here. So yeah, so I did a lot of stamping. It's like when you start, you just can't stop. It seems like you just want to keep stamping and adding stuff. So lots of fun. And so she put like labels, like she had made like labels. So I had cut out some, stamped and cut out some of the Tim Holtz curator stamps on some coffee dye paper. So that's what these are full of. So I just slid them in there. They're not going to stay in there, but that's what I did. So yeah, so I just cut those out last night, sitting in my bed. Yeah, just some curator stamping. So yeah, I just stuck those in there. And that's what I use. I use the curator stamp where it says type slide. That's from this curator stamp set. So yeah, so these are my projects I wanted to share with you all. The alcohol ink marble paper, my little mini document wallet, and my professor tag. Like I said, I had a lot of fun creating that. I do have some more items I want to share with you all. Some things that I have followed her tutorial, I have already made the base and covered it with my paper of my choice, but I just haven't actually did the decorating and adding the pockets and all that kind of stuff to it. But I will share that with you all when it's completed. And then I cannot remember her name, but I was looking for a particular video on how to do a particular thing, and I came across a video, and I'm just going to share with you all, is using a household ingredient that most of us have, which is cinnamon. So yeah, so if you got some cinnamon, on my next video I will share with you all what I created with the cinnamon. Yeah, so I've been having lots of fun, you all. So I hope that you all enjoyed this share. I do want to thank you all so much for watching. You all have a great week ahead, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.